I'm just going to give a little bit of an overview of the day once I get my iPad up and running. And we certainly have a number of people to thank, and then I've got the prizes to announce from the posters. But actually one thing I wanted to pull out of this first is a bit of an anecdote, because as Nicola said, we think so much in a big picture. I certainly challenge everyone to think, what are the big problems that we need to solve and how do we do it? But I think the most important part of our institute is our culture and our kindness and our generosity of spirit. And as I said earlier today, the idea of Freudenfreude, or taking delight in the success of others. So that is probably the most important thing to me of all, is how we treat each other with kindness and how we treat others. And we've seen some amazing interactions today with our patients. We had the most beautiful welcome to country this morning, and to me, I find that acknowledgement of country so much more meaningful after the results of the referendum. I think it's part of all of us now to demonstrate that respect and to hear the voice of our Aboriginal people. And as actually I was coming in the car here this morning, and I was just thinking about, what was important to me in the Institute. And I actually thought of a completely unrelated anecdote of something that happened probably about a month ago when I was overseas. And I received an email from a really wonderful woman that now retired. She's in her 80s. And I'd worked with her for many years up in Sydney. And she sent me this email and she said, "Dear Kathryn, I happen to have been in Melbourne for a couple of days, and I knew you were overseas, but I thought I'd wander in and have a look at the Children's Hospital and have a look at the Murdoch Children's, just the Murdoch Children's Research Institute where you work." So I went up to the lovely lady at reception downstairs, and they were so kind to me. I introduced myself, and I asked whether I could have an annual report. And she said they were just charming. And within a few minutes, this guy called Tom Keeble came down, and he took me up to the Institute, and he gave me a little tour. And I met a number of the young people, including Leanne, who I knew from Sydney. And I just wanted to say I'm bowled over by the work that your institute is doing. What an incredible place. But most importantly, I'd like to thank you for the courtesy and the kindness of your young people. Now, to me, that's actually what the Institute is all about. And that woman, Margaret Burgess, discovered the link between rubella and birth defects. So she is really an eminent leader in her field. And you wouldn't have known that when you show that kindness, but it's everyone in our Institute, from the people at the front door in reception, whether it's in the mail room, whether it's looking after all of our amazing facilities, as well as our fantastic teams of researchers. Everybody is what makes us what we are. So just to me, that is probably the most important element that I've got out of today, the importance of our culture. Now, I think probably the next most important thing for me to do is to announce the winners of the poster prizes for today. And so I'm going to go through this. We're not going to get, here we go. And then magic happened. So first of all, we've had over the weeks leading up into this conference, we've had a number of satellite conferences. And it's really wonderful to announce from the Postdoc Conference Awards, and we'll hold applause to the end. Simran Kaur for the Best Multidisciplinary Project, Stuart Oldham for the Best Image and Video, and I think we've also seen some great videos and images today. Vicky McWilliam for the Best Research Impact, and Belinda McLaren for the Best Communicated Presentation. So round of applause for those postdocs. And then the awards from our MCRI Student Conference. You can see them all there. Will Conabear, Charlie Fluke, Jonathan Tanusaputera, Sasha Odai, Derek Lai, Kavinda Walpita Gamagai, Loretta Gasparini, Bree Jones, and Lucas Ferreira. So congratulations to all of those people. And today's winners, we had over 150 posters today, and we've given awards and runner-up prizes across each of the themes, because we do need to, in some way, not compare apples with oranges, and you'll all receive very generous cash gifts, I believe, and speaking coaching for all prize recipients. Wow. So for the clinical sciences, the winner was Rose Boland. Congratulations, Rose. And the runner-up, Bonnie Alexander. I think I'll announce the winner and runner-up, and then we'll have one lot of clapping afterwards. Genomic, we'll be here forever. Genomic medicine, the winner was Xinyu Zhang, and the runner-up was Tommy Lee. Congratulations. For population health, the winner was Ellie Robson, and the runner-up, Lindsay Pearce. For stem cell medicine, the winner was Rosie Hislop, and the runner-up, Oniko Liani. And for infection, immunity, and global health, which is 4 words, the winner was Alicia Kwok, and the runner-up, Naime Tavakolinia. And the overall grand prize and more money goes to Toby Mansell from Infection, Immunity and Global Health. Toby's study is a tortured acronym called LIQUID, which stands for Life Course Quantification of Inflammation and Cardiometabolic Health. So, which is an amazing study, I must say. So congratulations to all of those people, and we will be in touch. Now, the next order of business is for me to thank a number of people. And particularly, though, I want to thank all of you in the audience today. There was a real sense that everyone was engaged and interested. I think we will share the selfie photos with everybody that's here, which I think it's going to be a gem. And I also want to thank Nicola for coming and really interacting throughout with all of our people throughout the day, but also for your thoughtful sharing of the last session. But the organising team, what an incredible amount of work has been done from my thought of, I just think we should have a whole of MCRI conference and get everyone together in a room at the convention centre. Not realising actually what a huge amount of work goes into making something quite as schmick as it has been today. No, we weren't just going to have an ordinary sort of conference where people got up, gave short talks, you know, and moved off. This had to be choreographed, it had to be entertaining, it had to be focused, it had to be multimedia. And I must say, I appreciate every single bit of effort that's gone into this. We've worked with some wonderful teams from Science in Public and the event organisers, who I think have just run everything beautifully and given us a lot of creative help. But to the internal team, led by Tom Keeble, Laura Spadaro, Erica Marino, Lizzie Parks and Bonnie Birmingham, thank you so very, very much for making this successful. And I think my final words just relate to some very high-level reflections I have from today's symposium. It was actually a comment that Nicola made to me earlier this morning. She said, you look around and when you get everyone together, the amazing diversity that we have across the Institute is really, it's wonderful to see it when you get everybody together. I think we're failing on gender diversity with the token males in some of the teams, but it's just wonderful to see all of the brilliant minds across all of the different areas of the Institute. I really loved that we paid so much heed and attention to our history, and I think hearing the story of Ruth Bishop and from her family, with really that great testament from Bill Gates, it really shows there's so many stories through the Institute that go over so many years that we should be justifiably proud of. I'll always remember the degustation of population health and bringing big ideas to life. I will always remember that there are 3 times as many mobile phones around the world as there are toilets. I think that there is a general theme across pop health and clinical sciences to really put the hospital out of business. But I also thought really great themes across clinical sciences and genomics. There's nothing about us without us, and I think that sense of engaging with our patient voice, with the public voice, with the consumer voice was very outstanding across so many areas of the projects that we talked about. I loved it that we had Katrina as a bioinformatician solving Tiong's cliffhanger. I think that really personifies to me us bringing together multidisciplinary teams from so many different backgrounds, from so many different parts of the Institute to solve the big health issues. And it was similar to me when we had the double act in renal stem cells of talking about the clinical issues and the interpretation from a stem cell perspective, as again, seeing what is that partnership between our clinicians, our community paediatricians, working side by side with our researchers of multidisciplines and with our bioinformaticians working as teams. I think that we actually had the stem cell review a couple of weeks ago, and that was, really something that our international panel said in their concluding remarks, is that many places they talk about that importance of the partnerships across multiple disciplines, particularly having clinicians and scientists and bioinformaticians, bioengineers working side by side. But they said, you guys have really made this a reality, and we could see it in every part of the work you do. And they were just looking at stem cell medicine, but I think we could look across all of the different areas, all of the major themes, all of the flagships across the Institute, and we will see that taking place. I started the day saying what I would like us to leave thinking about. I really wanted to bring our approach to research and the strategy that we've been building over the last 10 years in the Institute to life for everyone. That focus that we have of being an impact organisation that's powered by research. The fact that we identify the big problems, but we bring what I call the might of MCRI across all of the different areas as a whole institute to bear on solving those problems. And that we work as teams of teams, not just isolated, focused researchers, which I think is really the model now of a decade or two ago. And I think we've brought that to life. I think we can see that across everything we do. We started the day talking about leaving here feeling connected, inspired, and proud. And I certainly feel all three, and I hope you do as well. So thank you to everyone, and please join us outside for drinks and nibblies. Thank you.